Hey everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to Twinstrology. I so appreciate you joining me once again today, and we need to talk about the Aquarius new moon, which is all about our perspective. But before I get into that, I just want to touch base with you guys. You are my soul family. You've been with me for so long, and I know in 2020 I was very quiet. I wasn't doing as many videos as I had done in the past, and I've really been doing a lot of soul searching about what it is that I want to do. What am I passionate about? And trying to really reconnect with my passions in order to find a new direction. And astrology was one of those things that in the later half of last year, it just kind of fell off the radar for me. And I didn't feel inspired with it. And I'm still actually coming to terms with what I'm meant to do with astrology and what do I have to share with you about astrology, because it's one of those things that so many people are doing now. And what can I bring to it that is unique? I don't think I've done an astrology video even this year. I think the last one I did was for the Isis and Osiris conjunction, but I am beginning to get some of that inspiration back. I imagine that a lot of you have also been soul searching and asking yourself, like, where are my passions and how can I take my passion and bring that to humanity in order to help humanity enter this next phase. But along this way, I've discovered so many things that I'm passionate about. Of course, I've always known that, but I'm feeling guided more and more to perhaps talk about things maybe of a different nature. I did start to incorporate a little bit of political philosophies or channelings, and I'll continue to do that if and when I feel called. But I might start talking about some other things. And so I just want to mention this just so you guys are aware. So I'm still going to be doing the same things that I've always done. I'm still going to be working with twin flames, guiding you guys, whatever else I'm called to do for the collective. But if you see me posting stuff of another nature here and there, don't get thrown off course by that. For example, I'm really into astrology. That's a passion that I have, a hobby that I've been developing more and more. And so I know, at least in that respect, I have a video for photographers that I may post. I may post it here. I may post it somewhere else. But, it's just part of me developing all aspects of who I am. So if you see something and it doesn't concern you or it doesn't apply to you, don't feel obligated to watch it, or don't think that I'm not the same old person that I've always been. I'm just trying to share more of myself with all of you. The reason I'm even talking about this is because I do get quite a bit of negative feedback from people who get very angry when I try to veer off course from things that I've always done, when I try to perhaps step away from the twin flame stuff, and people get angry and they want me to start a different page or a different channel, and why am I sharing this stuff here? And it's very complicated when you have all these different channels to represent all these different aspects of me. And I want less social media in my life, not more. So it's just easier for me if I consolidate things. And really, this is a lot about this age of Aquarius that we're entering, because we are not fragmenting ourselves anymore by just being like, this is my box, this is my label, and this represents who I am. No, we are multifaceted, multi-interested in different things, and multiple ways that we can bring help to somebody in the collective. So we're all integrating these parts of ourselves into one whole and then sharing from that wholeness rather than sharing from these fragmentations or a fragmented self. So I hope that makes sense. And I do have a lot of exciting projects in the works. That's another reason why I've been quiet is I've been, in my hermit cave, just manifesting all kinds of different projects that I'm hoping you will want to share with me. So we will continue to unveil these things in 2021. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening. And now on to the Aquarius new moon. Okay, so the new moon is happening on February 11th, and it's all about our perspectives. And it was funny because we have these nice 2 and 1 numbers with the full moon. It's, 211, 2021. And many years ago, I channeled some information about number combinations that involve 1. So, of course, I get out my cheat sheet and I take a look. What do 2s and 1s mean? And the first thing, your perceptions are changing. Old patterns are being released and karma is clearing. So that was a perfect combination for me because actually I haven't even used this chart in a while. But we're definitely getting asked to tune into our perceptions of things and how those things are being colored. That old phrase, change starts within. Change starts within us. We have to be what we want to see, to create. But sometimes we get triggered and we fall back into the emotional self. That emotional part of us gets the better of us. And the emotions can have us misperceiving things, if that makes sense. So the Sabian symbol for this new moon is a man turning his back on his passions, teaches deep wisdom from his experience. So I feel like the Sabian is so perfect for what's happening because as we move through 2021, light workers are continuing to focus on shining their light in the world and taking their mission to the next phase. And part of this involves turning your back on your passions, turning your back on your emotions. So instead, you can access that deep wisdom that's within you, from that place of balance, from that stillness, from your I am presence, and help people through sharing your wisdom. Now, we're going through this transitional phase, and I feel like, especially around this new moon, there could be some challenges because of the things that are going on with the collective energies, and relationships with people around you might be going through some challenges. There could be some triggers, and this is where you're being asked to change your perception. Relationships are very much in focus over the next couple of months. But we have the sun and the moon now in this very detached sign of Aquarius. And that's being supported by Mercury retrograde. So it's our chance to kind of step out of the emotional body and really see things for how they truly are and not how we color them by our own experience. So when you find that people are triggered by you or triggered around you and they're trying to bring their negative energy to you, that's an opportunity for you to remember that it's not always about you. People are reacting from their own wounds, their own pain. There's so much fear being triggered in the collective. People are they're having a hard time. They may have lost their job, or they're trying to work from home and their kids are going to school from home, or they haven't been able to see their parents in the nursing home. And there's a lot of stress on people. So have that compassion and recognize that what they're going through is their own stuff, and don't take it on. This is an important part of our development as light workers, because the more we try to bring our light into the world, the more that some people are going to try to put out that light. And really, that's just because of their own wounds, their own lack of understanding, their own trauma, or the karmic story that you carry with those people. So you cannot let them stop you from being who you are or sharing your messages, which is a little bit like what we talked about here at the beginning. Now we have Venus and Jupiter making an exact conjunction at the new moon, and this is going to make it a bit easier for us to find that compassion for other people. In fact, you may have to watch out for being too giving, and maybe you'll see where you're sacrificing too much. But this first step towards healing polarity is accepting that we're all different, and it's okay to be different. And we know that, but to some people that are still, working through their own healing or haven't started their healing process, when other people are different, that can seem very threatening. Okay, so you have to be strong. But moving into the age of Aquarius is all about embracing our individuality. Now, the Sabian symbol for Jupiter and Venus is a barometer, and a barometer measures pressure. So use your sensitivity to pick up on the energy of those around you, and where, there might be some bad weather on the way and you may need to take shelter. At the same time, the asteroid Karma is going retrograde in Leo and is going to be opposite this new moon. Karma's been going retrograde for a few months. It started going retrograde in Virgo. So that's really contributed to a lot of the clearing that we've been going through, and especially with Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde, I believe, stationed kind of opposite to where Karma was. So, if you've been having a hard time, and I know a lot of people have been, just keep in mind that it's just part of this releasing to get you more and more ready for your next level. So yeah, part of that energy of Karma opposing the new moon is clearing that fear away that we may still carry from being our true self. Remember, the sign of Leo is about our creativity. It's about that gift we have to share, and it's through the sign of Aquarius where we share that gift with others. But many of you have been traumatized in the past when you've tried to share your gift, and you still have those karmic patterns. So it's good to clear that so you get back to that true wisdom that you have. And so this year is all about you truly being you and not letting others hold you back from what is your destiny. And at times like this, it can really feel like other people are the ones in control, like you're the outsider. It can be very frustrating if people around you are seeing life from a different perspective than you. But understand that you keep following your path and your destiny, and you are what is going to change that collective energy. You are here has a healer. So you've got to be strong and keep taking these steps. Sorry guys, I took notes because I find if I take notes, then I don't talk as much. I'm trying to keep things more, more condensed, if you will. So the little things that distract us, we need to change our perspective about those little things too, and not letting them keep us from our destiny. This year is a year that is all about living, really living, and finding that pathway to our dreams. So you're going to do that by your perspective. And like I said, changing your perspective is what's going to change the world. It doesn't have to be some big thing that you're doing to change the world. It goes back to what is within us. It's interesting. Karma is on the Sabian symbol after a heavy storm, a rainbow. This is actually the degree that my Venus is on. So I really love this one. Not always easy to have your Venus on such a Sabian, but after that clearing that may bring challenges, you're coming into that light. And these rainbow activations have been really strong as well. I don't know if you guys are feeling that, or if you've been connecting to the rainbow energy, seeing rainbows somewhere, but that rainbow is your light being exposed. Now, over the next couple weeks, there's likely to be activations happening, especially around February 20th. And I think that's the day that Mercury goes direct as well. It's also a few days before the exact square of Saturn and Uranus, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But just want to let you guys know in case you're experiencing some kind of activations. I mean, it will be building up and then fading away, but I feel like the 20th is kind of a pivotal point. And some of the activations you may experience will be around your third eye. And there have been these third eye activations. A lot of people have been experiencing headaches and things, myself included. So if you have, that's probably connected to something energetically. So yeah, Saturn and Uranus. We have 3 exact squares for those 2 planets this year. February 17th, June 14th, and December 24th. So this first one on the 17th, that's going to involve 10 planets because we have 3 in Taurus and 7 planets in Aquarius. So there's a lot of energy being expressed there. And then in June, that's very close to the summer solstice, and in December it's very close to the winter solstice, and those are always very pivotal points for the energies. So it'll be interesting to see what happens around these dates. But really, like, these are the exact square dates, but the energy of these 2 planets, they're going to be felt all year continuously. And of course, Saturn and Uranus are the co-rulers of the sign Aquarius. So it kind of makes sense that they'd be squaring off as we begin to enter the age of Aquarius. Personally, I don't think you would want either Saturn or Uranus bringing in these energies alone, because one is too revolutionary and one tends to be a little bit too traditional. But when we bring these planets together, then we create more of a balanced energy. In order for us to change and in order for us to have a true revolution, you need to have a very strong, solid foundation under that. And that's where Saturn comes in. Uranus can be a bit to triggering, to not thinking things through, but just, like the fool, right? Stepping off that cliff without really knowing what's going to catch you. And that can be fine in some instances, but if you really want to make that change something that's lasting, then it's good to bring in Saturn and create the ground underneath that change. And we definitely, want things to happen that way, right? Especially when we think about the stress in the political arena. We don't want things to unfold too rapidly, but we want there to be a structure that's dependable and that benefits everybody. So what these planets are going to be doing for us this year is transforming us. And in our transformation, we transform society, like I said, and the star seeds and the twin flames are those of us that go first, that lead the way for other people. So here in Aquarius, Saturn is representing the fears that we have around sharing our gift, right? As I said, Aquarius is what we offer to the world, what we offer to our community. And in order for us to make that offering, we have to heal the things that we are carrying from Taurus, our Taurus trauma. And that is usually not valuing ourselves and not valuing the things that we have to share. That energy of Taurus can be like, I want to keep my gift to myself. I want to protect my gift. I want to keep it close, and I don't want to share it with others because other people might, they might not understand it. They might denigrate it. They may not appreciate it. So this is where we're needing to come out of our shells and let that gift be seen. And really we don't have a choice, because if we're here on that mission, we can't really be fulfilled in our life until we're sharing that gift and our light with others. Also, when we're not valuing ourselves, that is a reflection on our relationships. And what happens if we have issues in our Taurus and we don't value who we are and we haven't gotten that nurturing from our mother figure? Because this is that Taurus stage is when we're toddlers and we're learning about the world and we're having our parent mirror things to us about who we are in our existence. And if we didn't really get that, then we'll take that energy and we'll project it into our Scorpio house, which is our relationship house, our intimate relationships. So, of course, as twins, we got to heal that so we're not projecting onto our relationships because we know that doesn't lead to good things. Aquarius is also our house of hopes, dreams, and wishes. And with Saturn there, we can create the foundation for those dreams that we're trying to manifest. And that can be helped by Uranus and Taurus, because it can help us change those places where we become very fixed and stubborn. And Saturn is also sextiling Chiron in Aries. And when Saturn and Chiron are sextile each other, then we're able to anchor multidimensional energy. And that's what we're doing, right? We're bringing different timelines, higher timelines, and we're trying to anchor them so that we can create this bridge between the dimensions. We're also going to be looking at technology through this transit, I feel, and hopefully seeing that we're a little bit too attached to technology and that attachment is becoming problematic. And, I'm certainly not anti-technology. That's how I communicate with you guys, right? But if we're too attached, then we're disconnecting from ourselves, we're disconnecting from others around us, and we're disconnecting from our spiritual self. So it'll be interesting. The internet came about at a time where light workers needed to connect with each other and find each other. We're stationed all over the world at different grid points. And I know that most of my lightworking friends are people that don't live near me, but people that I met online, even though I'm lucky enough to have met many of them in person. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with the internet as we evolve into the new age, and what happens with all this technology. So I think it's really about finding a balance, because technology can become a prison for us if we're not careful. But of course, we also need technology. So we have many planets in Aquarius and Taurus working through that with us, of course. In Taurus, we have Uranus, Mars, and Lilith. So those are some planets that are, they can be aggressive and defensive, and that's a lot of why I feel people can be triggered by things. And hey, even light workers can get triggered by things. So if that happens to you and someone triggers you, try to see the different perspective and look at what you're projecting onto them and what you need to see in yourself. So yeah, ultimately we're working on allowing ourselves to be seen. And when we're willing to allow ourselves to be seen, there's a lot less projection happening, and we can heal so many relationships, including our twin flame relationship. So I am going to do kind of a part 2 of this video in a way, because there's several aspects happening that are specifically for twin flames, and I want to talk about how those aspects are going to affect the twin dynamic over the next several months moving into summer. So I hope that you will tune in to that. Thank you guys so much. If you would like a personal astrology reading with me to find out what is in your own chart, what is your karmic story, what kind of wounds are you carrying from the past, you can check me out on my website, which is twinstrology.com. Sending you guys a lot of love, and I'll speak to you soon.